This video will give you a general overview of using Google Classroom. So the first thing you want to do is click the blue sign in button to sign into your Suffield student account. Then enter your password. Just like other applications, we're going to click on the 9-tile app launcher and click on Google Classroom. This will bring you to the dashboard of Google Classroom. Up here on the top left-hand corner is our main menu button. Right now we're looking at our classes. You can decide to click on the calendar, your to-do list, or any of the classes listed in your Google Classroom. The to-do list is kind of nice because it'll show you all the work that you have to review and all the work that has been reviewed here. So to get back to the home page, or the dashboard I should say, click back on the main menu button. Up here on the right hand side, the plus sign is for you to create or join a class. The 9-tile app launcher will bring you to any of the other Google apps, and the bell notification button will show you any notifications from Google. So the first thing you want to do is click on the star button and you can create your class. So let's do that. And you have to give your class a name. So for this, maybe I'll do math, and I'll say it is period 3. And then hit create. You can name your class whichever way you would like, depending on what subjects you teach or what grade levels you teach. So when you first start a class, you'll see your home or dashboard will look like this. Google Classroom has 3 tabs up top here. Your stream is the main screen where you will see all of your activity happening in Google Class, kind of like the wall in Facebook. Here you have your Students tab. This is where you will see all of your students' information, and this is where you're going to invite your students. Then you have an About tab. This is mainly for you to organize your class materials and folders and such. Let's go back to the stream. So here you'll see on the left-hand side you have some options. Once you post assignments, it will show you upcoming work, and then topics down here is kind of like a category or a folder. You can add a topic if you want to organize your Google Classroom into, let's say, assignments or homework or quizzes or reviews. You can choose to organize it any way you would like. The top left-hand corner, show deleted items. This is for you. Only teachers can view deleted items, so that's for you to kind of use for yourself. And this button where students can post and comment, this is for you to control what students can do on the stream. So you're going to want them to be able to post and comment. That's kind of the point of Google Classroom. But depending on what you're doing, you might want to just let them only comment on your posts, or you might only want to be the only one who can post and comment. So that's what your stream would look like. So in order to get started and to actually customize your Google Classroom, you can select a theme by clicking on this button for your banner and your whole Google Classroom, or you can upload your own photo of anything you would like that's related to your class. So to get started, you're going to click on the plus sign here in the bottom right-hand corner. It will give you 4 options of things you can do to post into your stream. You can reuse a post, create a question, create an assignment, or create an announcement. All of these are used for different purposes. So like I said, depending on what you want to do, these 3 are pretty self-explanatory. The reuse a post is nice because you can select a post from any of your Google classes to reuse and kind of redo. So let's say you send out a weekly announcement, or you're sending out a homework assignment that repeats, or anything like that. It's just kind of a quick way for you to not have to recreate everything that you post. So if you're going to click on a question here, you can again have many options of what you really want to do. So for right now, I'm in math period 3, and this question will go to all students. So let's say it's the beginning of class, and I might want to ask them a question of, when is our first homework assignment due? And instructions here, this is where you can insert directions, but for my question, for this example, I don't really need any. Due date, this is a general question that I'm posing to the class to kind of get them introduced and kind of going in the class. So like I said, if you were posting a different type of question, you might want to add a due date. A topic, this is for you where you can actually, like I said before, organize your work into folders, which are called topics. So if this is, let's say, a introductory topic, so I might want to call this folder Getting to Know Math Period 3. So this might be kind of like an introductory week to my class. So there's my folder that I want to put it in. Here you can decide whether or not you want your students to have a short answer or a multiple choice. You can either add a link, a video, a document from Google Drive, an attachment to this question. You can allow students to reply to each other by clicking this toggle button on or off, and you can allow students to edit their answers by clicking this on or off. And then once you select Ask down here, you have another option by clicking on the arrow. You can ask, schedule, and save a draft. These features are really nice because you can kind of get your Google Classroom up and running ahead of time and not have to do everything like in the moment. So if you wanted to ask this right now, you would select Ask. You can schedule a time for this question to go out, and you can save it as a draft. So if you're like to plan ahead, you can go ahead and save a bunch of stuff as drafts in your Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and ask, and here it will pop up on my stream. So here is where you'll see all of your activity that is happening in Google Classroom. And here's where the students can add a comment, and whatever settings you chose on that question, the students will be able to do or not do. So that's a question. Creating an assignment is very similar. Again, you give the assignment a title, like maybe this is homework number 1, and directions for the assignment. You want to assign a due date, so I can open my calendar here and pick a due date. A time, optional. I don't think I really need that for right now. No topic. This is not going to be in Getting to Know Math Period 1. This maybe might be my homework assignments. So I'm going to say a homework folder. So this is going to go into my homework folder. And then for my math assignment, I might want to attach a worksheet or maybe a Google Doc, a link to something else that they have to do, or maybe a video as well. So you can attach multiple items here. And then again, if you want to assign it right now, schedule to have it send out later, or save it as a draft. Those are your options here for an assignment. So I'm going to select Assign so you can see what it looks like. And then again, notice that the most recent post will pop up first here, and that's kind of nice because you can organize and make sure that the students are seeing first what they need to do. If you want to reorganize these posts, you can by clicking on the 3 vertical buttons over here, and then you can decide to move it. Well, right now this is at the top, so I can't move it to the top, but you can edit, delete, or copy link. But let's say I want to move this to the top and say, all right, I need to remind my students about this question. They haven't done it. I select Move to the Top, and it'll move my question back up to the top. And then if I click down here again, create an announcement, and this is where I can just do a really basic announcement to students, like reminder, our first quiz, is next week, and maybe I'll say, September 7th. And then again, here I don't have any topics created, so maybe this one might want to be something about like quizzes from the year. So again, you can maybe attach a review packet for the quiz, any of these other options here, and then you can post it now or schedule to have post it later or save it as a draft. I'm going to post it now so you can see what that looks like. So here I have a little reminder here. So that's basically the general overview of what the stream looks like. Now that I've created topics, you can see them here in my topic folder. Again, you can organize them by clicking on the 3 vertical buttons, and then you see what's upcoming: homework due number 1, due Friday, and that's basically how you use your left-hand navigation here. Now onto the Students tab. This is where you're going to add your students. So on this button right here, Invite Students, you would click on this button and you enter their email addresses. If you start typing in a letter, you'll see that all of the students will pop up here in kind of like a little directory book. So you go ahead and you can select your students. They will need this class code to join. So this is where you're going to, you can copy it or give it to them, write it on the board. You can also reset your class code or disable it if needed. Once you enter in all your students here, you will see that there's an Actions tab. This is where you can decide to email all of your students or a few select students. This will give you a lot of different options as to how you want to send out messages to students. Again, once you enter students, then you can actually invite parents or guardians of the students to be a part of the class. They will receive notifications. They won't be able to be in the class, but they'll be able to receive your notifications about anything happening in Google Classroom. So that's another good feature about Google Classroom. One other thing I want to mention that's in the reference guide is once you invite students, there will be, and I don't have any here to show you, but there'll be a little tab where you can mute students. Muting students, they'll still be able to submit work. They just won't be able to comment or post anything. So that's an option if you're having an issue with a student or you feel like you want to mute all the students just so they can submit stuff and maybe you need to for a different type of assignment, that's an option as well. The About tab is a place where you can upload a bunch of materials for your class and change your class description. So if you click on the little pencil here, you can edit your class title and add a little description. Also, here is where you can upload materials for your class. So if you wanted to upload a bunch of homework or quizzes or tests or assignment or videos or anything like that that will help in your Google Classroom, you can upload them here. Your Google Class Drive folder is a folder that appears in your Google Drive. So every class that you have in your classroom will actually be a separate folder in your Google Drive. So if I click on this, it'll bring me to my drive, and the folder for this Google class will actually be labeled Math Period 3. Notice it's under My Drive, Classroom, Math Period 3. So under Classroom is where you'll see these are all the classes that you have in your Google Classroom. They'll be in this part of your Google Drive. So that's a nice little feature as well. Your classroom calendar is going to be the calendar for the specific class you're working in. Like right now I'm in my Math Period 3 class, so I'm looking at my Math Period 3 calendar. You can switch by clicking on the tab up here and go to your other classes. Let's go back. Your Google Calendar, this is your general personal, or I should say your calendar associated with your Suffield account. So you can click on that to view your calendar as well. Under Teachers, you can invite other teachers to collaborate with on this Google Classroom. So that's your basic overview of Google Classroom. The stream is the part where you will be actually probably using the most, and this is where you'll see all of your assignments and work being posted.